Sometimes it's really good to go back to where you started and remember, why the heck am I doing this in the first place? So, I've been thinking about why I started doing this in the first place, recording these videos, sharing what's going on about fostering justice and being his dad. And I remember through watching, the first couple of videos that it was all about processing my emotions and the stress and the joy and the goodness and the trials of being a foster parent and everything that I was experiencing. But I realized that somewhere in there, that emotional journal kind of got lost. And some of that was, about updates with the baby's health, our life as we're driving to the hospital and all that stuff. And that's all fine and good. But what I realized that happened in me was I began to fear that if I shared too much, if I shared about my anger or my questions or me questioning if I'm able to do this or not, that the state would decide that Kelsey and I weren't suitable fits for justice. That because we get frustrated or I don't know, maybe because our way of parenting isn't approved, I don't know, whatever it is, that if something got out and got back to the state, that they would take him away. And so as I go back and I look over the videos, there's a change from sharing emotions to just sharing insights or lessons. And I don't know if I want these videos to be about teaching or if I want them to be about here's my world this week. So in reality, the state gets final say. Right now, Kelsey and I aren't like a immediate family placement, we're just suitable adult care. And if the state were to find more suitable care, they could move him. Or if they for some reason decided that we weren't suitable, that they could take him and put him somewhere else. Because he's a ward of the state, or soon to be. I'm not exactly sure how all that works with the courts. But that's not up to us. Obviously, we want justice. We want him to live with us. We want him to stay with us, despite all the heartache and all the trials and all the questions that we've had and how difficult it's been. There's been a lot of goodness in it as well. He's 4 months old now, as of yesterday. So he rolls over a lot. He's a very big boy. His head is huge. We don't have specs on that yet, or his growth percentile, because his next doctor's appointment is sometime next month, early September. So we'll get all the details then, and I can share them with you. But he's only a couple pounds behind our 1-year-old daughter and about an inch shorter. So at 4 months old, he's a very big boy. He's smiling, laughing. He's starting to grab his toes. He really is quickly transitioning from, infant to baby, or I guess baby to infant. I'm not exactly sure how you would decide which one's which, but it's a transition. He's able to move and interact a little bit more, play. A lot of his crying now, I think, is just because he's bored and no one's paying attention to him. Our social worker said that babies with drug addictions do tend to be a little bit more needy. So I think we're fighting that a little bit. There was a time about a month ago, around the time I recorded the breaking point video, that we couldn't put him down, and that was brutal. And there was so much hopelessness because we didn't know how we were going to get through the day. We couldn't do anything, right? We couldn't do the budget because there wasn't any peace in the house to do it. We couldn't clean the house because he would just be screaming. So now we've turned a corner on that, and there's a lot more peace in our home. I think there's a lot more hope in our home. We've learned more what his signals are, and that he just eats a lot. So we're constantly feeding him, and that's seemed to help with his crankiness and his irritability. So this is becoming more and more fun. I think our hearts are catching up to the joy of having 2 children. This morning, we placed Justice in a bumpo, and he was sitting up grabbing his toes, and Rory came over with an egg that she had, a shaker egg, and was trying to share it with him, and got up all close to his face, and was sweet and kind. And so that's fun to see, and those moments are quickly becoming more and more available and open to us, and so we really enjoy those. But I think just as I end this video, I want to get back to the place of sharing my emotions and not just sharing facts, sharing stories, not just sharing insights or teaching lessons. So that's the direction these videos are gonna return to. That's the way we're gonna go. Catch you next time.